I forget, not everybody has as much experience with foreknowings as I do. And if the Earth's going to go through this awakening process, more are going to come into the experience of having foreknowledge of things. And as I explained, how I know it's foreknowledge when it comes in out of the dream space is the quality of the picture. Mine is more grayish, black and white. The first one that I got, it was a grayish black and white, and it was a series of photos, like the old film reels. And what I got out of it, it was images of, which was it? Reagan, President Reagan had an assassination attempt against him. And then I saw, at the time, I believe it was Bush. And so I just wrote it down. I put it in an envelope and I mailed it to myself. Yeah, this is how I was going to prove it to myself if it was true, because I thought I was crazy. Like, arrogant. Like, how could I possibly know something like that? Who am I? And why would this be given to me to know? You don't call, the CIA or FBI and say, hey, there's going to be, an assassination attempt on the president. Well, how do you know? Your ass is hauled in jail. It's like, you must know something. You must be involved. No. Plus, I didn't truly 100% know or believe that I would have a foreknowing about something like that. So, lo and behold, it came across the news that there was the conspiracy for an assassination attempt against Bush. And I opened up the envelope and proved it to myself. The next one was foreknowing that my husband was going to die when a piece of equipment exploded at work. Instead of accepting that and preparing for it, I was, I think, like 8 months pregnant. So worried about myself and, how I was going to deal with it financially and being left alone in the world and yada yada. So I was on my knees just scrubbing the refrigerator all day, praying, oh, don't let this happen, don't let this happen, don't let this happen. So he came home from work, a piece of equipment had exploded. He just got like a little scratch or something. He didn't die from it. Well, the marriage wasn't working out, and he took my daughter for a short time while I established a household elsewhere. He had never even held her. The one time I gave her to him to hold when she was like 6 months old, you could tell he subconsciously did it on purpose, just holding her, and then bumped her head as he walked, past the banister of the staircase. Look, see, I told you I couldn't. So I was basically a single parent with her anyways. But his mom always wanted a daughter. So he took her to stay with his mom while I went to work on some property somebody had gifted me because I had helped them out spiritually. And when it went to contact him, which he knew where I was, I had a friend who would come down and visit and could have brought messages, whatever. Instead, what I found out was he had sent notification to an address where we were given 30 days to get out because the building had been purchased and the new owner wanted to do renovations. So we had lost our rental unit and we had to find something to do anyways. So I was down in Kentucky working on property. He was supposed to watch her till I established, got a house put on it, trailer or whatever. And instead he had divorce papers sent to that old address, which of course I wasn't there to receive. So he had it published in a paper in a county we had never lived in, I had never lived in. So he got the divorce, child support payment ordered. He had picked up, quit his job, his entire household, him, his brother, his mother, and his father all moved with no forwarding address. A private investigator did pro bono work for me looking for him, couldn't find him. After 4 years, I finally found him, and I had called, like the child abduction unit, the police in that part of the state, everything, let them know what happened, that I had finally found them. And they said, well, that's been her normal life for this long, so if you go to court for visitation, just don't bring it up. Yeah, I have visitation. I called to go to visit. It's like, oh, no, 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 we're busy. No, you can't do that. And it makes sense, what they said, that, well, that's her norm. You don't want to just take her out of her norm, just because her father kidnapped her, but you don't want to disrupt that norm for her. But I was able to start correspondence with her, and she did write in a letter that she loves her life. So I wasn't going to disrupt it. I wasn't going to, force my way in, even if they didn't say I could visit. I could have done stupid things like be walking down the street when she happened to be walking to school, or, whatever. But I didn't want to disrupt her reality. I figured she'd reach an age, and eventually she did. She contacted me again after that correspondence, when she had said she really loves her life and she's sorry she doesn't have time to write to me. So the whole point is the foreknowing. I averted it, and it came back to bite me in the ass. So when we get a foreknowing, it's best to emotionally prepare for it. Yes, I would have had financial difficulties being a single mom. I didn't even think of it. It just hits me right the fuck now. I probably would have had freaking life insurance. Insurance from his job would have paid. Oh my god. Oh. Oh shit. I probably would have had all my finances taken care of if I just let him die. They come back and bite me in the ass big time, because, then it's just child support payments, which I haven't been able to make realistically. Oh my god. So, this is a prime example of why we do not interfere with what we have as foreknowings. So now I have this foreknowing of a dog. And of course, if the opportunity comes, now I know that the future of the dog, if I don't accept it as a puppy, will be beaten. If I'm given a glimpse of the dog, but don't have the opportunity to bring it home at a young age, prepare for having a dog that has been mistreated. So watch Caesar Milan. I've dealt with dogs that have been mistreated. It's just more, a lot of more thinking, a lot more work. It's just not a naturally evolving relationship. You have to put more effort into it. But of course, the soul of the dog could be, the reincarnation of a bank that already knows that it's going to get nothing but love and respect from me. So I just got to emotionally prepare for it. That's what it comes down to. And as far as foreknowings about things having to do with greater part of, my world, the community, the country, the world at large, other people are doing that, and see what resonates, what doesn't. there are parallel realities. I'm going to get myself into alignment inwardly to go to the one that I like, that I want to exist in. So I don't need to worry about the details, and the details are going to change because there are just so many people. And it's funny, this is, where the Mandela effect comes in. And that song had come out, We Didn't Start the Fire, and it lists basically our shared history. So now a remake or an extension of that song has come, and I think it would be really funny to see how the Mandela affects a song like that, because it's like the universe put it there. All right, now the reality you're going into, this is the shared history. This is the version of it for you. And so we get one version of the song playing over our radios, while other people headed for another reality are going to get a different version of the song. One thing changes, or something like that. It's just fun to watch at this point, to not get hung up or frightened by details. And I just have this look on my face because it's just never in my life have I been so frightened, other than, Elvira, Mistress of the Dark movies, and freaking myself out as a child, looking in the mirror at night afraid to see something behind me. But when things do actually happen like this, here, my heart's barked. I don't get scared. Because in essence, I know that I go on because I've had out of body experiences, because I've astrally project, because I did, have that suicide attempt. I mean, I was dead. There's no freaking way I could have done what I did and then just wake up the next morning like feeling perfect. Pissed off, but not, physically not feel like I'm hungover, not feeling like just healthy as a horse. And that's another thing, is when I went through and my digestive system shut down, they didn't know what to do. I mean, your insides are dead. They can't juice them back to life. And they had an IV. My body wasn't absorbing the water. It wasn't absorbing the nutrients through the feeding tube. I was dead. Just like, how was I moving, So eventually made a promise to that still small voice inside me, and my digestive system kick-started itself. I've been resurrected from the dead, obviously, on more than one occasion. But there was no fear. I know what happens at death. This outer shell, it is a part of my soul. It's what my soul was formed in. It's the womb of my soul. But it is still material from the earth. It's still earth itself that became the place, the spark, and the incubator and the expression of my soul. So that may go back into the earth, but that which we call a soul continues on. And as I mentioned, now I just have a clearer picture of it since reading Lambda's description of it. I mean, come on, you question whether or not it's a conscious sentient being. It's awesome. It's all awesome. But, so now you know what to do with prophecy. If you choose to follow my example, if you choose to trust my experience as an example of what could happen, and my advice is just emotionally prepare for it. And as I've said before, when we emotionally go through an experience, we may no longer draw that experience to us. So if you just have this knot in the pit of your stomach that tells you, you know that this thing is coming, and you allow yourself to mourn, feel the fear, accept the results. Imagine how you can move on from those results. You're already going through the emotional process. You're already doing the mourning. You're already doing the recovery. You're already doing the living afterwards. And so sometimes those experiences won't happen. It's just like this foreknowing with the puppy. Emotionally prepare for it. And it could be that it's given to me as a wee little thing before the man ever gets a chance to abuse it. Because it just breaks my heart to just have that image reimagined in my mind of that dog all curled up, like, with the beat up face and everything. So I gotta stop imagining it like that, emotionally prepare to deal with that. And it could be that it doesn't happen. Maybe it'll be, as a puppy, it'll be taken off to another home where it won't be abused. Just the health and well-being is the priority. If you love anything, you don't care if it's with you or elsewhere, as long as it is happy and healthy. That's okay. So there you go. There's my guidance and my input on foreknowings, what to do with them, what to do about them, what they feel like, what the potentials are if you respect them or if you try to alter them. That's what I got for you.